Just kids, man. Just kids. Weekend was birthday weekend, so
That's
did a
right.
little celebrate. Yeah,
Happy
did a little
belated
celebrate.
birthday. I think I had hit you up. I think I had hit you up earlier, but it was too early for your birthday. So, I didn't hit you up on your birthday. But I think that was on what, Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah.
I had some other things going on in the mind, so forgive me that I didn't.
It's all good, man.
But I hit you up that Monday.
It's all good, man. It's all good, bro. I understand.
So what you do for it?
Man, just hung out, man. Went to dinner Friday night. Hung out with some friends Friday. Took me to dinner Friday. Family Saturday. And, went to my favorite spot, Havana Mix, and had some sticks, man, downtown Saturday, man. I'll be back down there this week, too.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I ain't getting no invite, but I know why I didn't get no invite.
Yeah. I know you had some stuff on your plate, man. So that's why I had purposed it for later this week for us to get down there, man. I went down there and just sat and kind of chilled, man, and came up with several concepts for some new business ventures, man. So that's kind of like my spot. I go to create, you know what I'm saying? Kind of, man, relax, process stuff, listen to the old heads, talk and give advice and come up with new stuff, man. So
listening to the old heads?
Some other stuff. Yeah, man.
You are aware that you are an old head now?
Nah. I'm talking about 55, 60, 70, sitting around listening to them dudes, man. We ain't old by no means. We ain't old. I tried that with them. They was like, "Oh, young bloods, you ain't old. 42 ain't nothing."
But when we were young, we be like, "Man, that nigga 40 years old."
Oh yeah.
That nigga 40 years old. He old as hell. Old ass nigga.
Yeah, 40 was old when we were 17, 18. We thought 40 was just old. It really
I thought 40 was old at 21. I'm like, this is old ass nigga.
Yeah. You really just getting started. I'm working on something. I'm working on something that kind of deals with that, deals with that mentality, man.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man. So yeah, man, let's what you got on your mind for this week's episode? I know I got a couple things. In particular,
man. There's a few things I want to talk about, but I know usually we start this jaunt off with like sports or whatever the last couple of jaunts. I do gotta say, it's so hard to say goodbye to my Boston Celtics, man.
Oh yeah, it was a great series though.
It was. I thought it would. I thought it would at least have went to 7 games, but I don't know, man. Hopefully, this just shows like for next year they'll be good to go. But I don't think they're gonna have it this easy next year. This was it for them. This year was it for them.
Yeah.
That's just like I think that. I don't think LA gonna get this ring. I don't think the Lakers gonna get this jump.
Well, it really, to me, it could go either way. I don't think. I guess we, looking at it from a macro perspective, like LA holds the cards. Of course, the championship, at this point is gonna go through them because. What Toronto won last year, they don't have Kawhi, so.
And you said you text me something?
Yeah, I did.
Huh? Okay, I still ain't got it yet. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, you realize like the championship now goes through obviously LeBron and AD, but you know, I said that I thought, and this is being a Laker fan, I thought that they would have.
You know what? We just started off just talking, rambling. We didn't even introduce the show.
Go ahead. Properly introduce, man.
We didn't even introduce each other or none of that. We just
go ahead. Let's get to it. You know how we do, man. You know how we do.
Right. What's good? So, excuse me, listeners. We're gonna start this off the correct way. What's good? What's good? I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES, and I got my guy. Hey man, you know what? We matching this shit, face ass niggas.
Hey man, your business.
The gray hoodie guys.
The gray hoodie guys. Yeah, the gray hoodie guys.
The gray hoodie guys. The bucket hat boy -1. He ain't got his bucket hat on today.
I ain't got mine on today, but I have it on
although we did make up the name Bucket Hat Boy, and the nigga ain't got his bucket hat on. But hey.
Yeah.
It's just like Black Bottle boys. They always walked around a black bottle all the time.
It's understood. It's understood.
I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES, and I got this guy here, Ivan the Grizzly, the Great. This nigga look like he ain't got no neck, all shoulders, face ass. And we are the Off on the Tangent podcast.
Yeah, we are. That's us.
That is us. And we were talking about basketball. Yeah, we were talking about basketball and the Lakers and the Heat, since they're going to be in the finals. I was saying goodbye to my Boston Celtics because they just threw that John away. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, no, that was a tough series, man. That was a tough, grueling series too. It was a lot of defense, a lot of physicality. And it was a high energy series. So I think the team that kind of brought it more on the energy perspective, it's probably the team that got it. I think it could have went either way at some point. You know what I'm saying? I think that series could have went either way because both of those teams are evenly matched. But like we were just saying, as far as the championship goes, I think you said that you thought that LA is probably going to lose to Miami. I mean, and at any rate, a lot of people will probably say that's, man, you crazy, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like LA is, it's my team, but LA doesn't impress me. Like LA just does not impress me as a total basketball team.
They don't.
They just don't impress me. I love the team, but outside of LeBron, AD, Kuzma, Caruso, maybe at some nights, and I mean Dwight Howard's playing well, but they just don't. They don't look like a dominant team overall. They have two dominant, all-world type of players, but they just don't look like a dominant team overall to me. And I think if the situation was much different, if they're, if the other all-world superstars were playing, I think this thing would have turned out a lot different, in my opinion. So obviously we don't consider, we don't necessarily put it out there like, oh, hey, if this guy was playing, this would happen, this, that, and the other. We just deal with whoever shows up. But, I just have to be honest, man, and say that, I think that if LA was as dominant as LA should be or should have been, they would have swept, Denver. Denver wouldn't have got a game in, but I mean, they beat them convincingly, but still, I'm not, I think that LA is going to win the championship just simply because, I mean, I don't see LeBron James not averaging a triple-double. I don't see Anthony Davis not averaging at least double-double. You know what I mean? It would be difficult for me to not think that they wouldn't win the championship this year. But to your point, this is probably the easiest year for any of those guys to get, because I don't think anybody picked Miami to go to the finals. I don't think, some people I heard pick Boston, but
I picked Boston.
I don't think anybody picked Miami to go to the finals this year. But obviously, it's kind of a asterisk type of season. So, it's a little bit, and a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it really is an asterisk season because it's not your normal 82-game season and then your playoffs to come afterward. But, guys had a lot of time off. So, it just kind of gave some guys that took advantage of that, a little bit more of an advantage. So, but anyway, I think LA will win this year, but I don't think next year with Steph and Klay coming back and Kevin Durant possibly showing back up and Kyrie Irving playing and Paul George going to another team and, the Clippers getting a new coach next year. And
Paul George going to another team.
Yeah, the rumors are that Paul George is being traded. There was they had locker room issues. Paul George, according to what I've looked at today, had something to do with Doc Rivers getting fired. And I think overall, Doc Rivers probably, like you said, I think you called it several weeks ago that, Doc Rivers is a career underachiever, with the talent that he's had on the teams that he's had. You would think that Doc would have at least more than, 2 rings or more than 1 ring or something like that at this point in time. So, I think it was probably his time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Like, Doc's been in that seat for a while. Like, he's been in that seat for a while. He's had a chance to win with whoever. And I think not winning with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Pat Bev and all those guys, I think that's kind of it's kind of a mark on his, his legacy, not to take anything away from Doc as being a great coach, but I just think that that's kind of a, mark against him to lose with those guys. But, I agree. Next year, the landscape of the league is going to be totally different. You got Wiseman that's coming in the draft. You got Ball that's coming in the draft. Like, it's a highly talented draft. It's going to be a different league.
And I told you, okay, so when we first started talking about the draft and Giannis and Paul George and all those people or whatever, and Wiseman and all that, when we started talking about the draft and shit. Now, I made mention of something, but you told me that's highly unlikely. Okay. There are talks already about who gonna pick up who and where they gonna go to. And one of those rumors was what I was saying. Draft time comes, the Golden State Warriors or whatever their new name is going to be, they're going to pick up Wiseman. They're going to pick up Wiseman. They're going to use Wiseman to get Giannis.
Okay. So you thinking they're going to pull off that, draft night deal? Yeah.
They're gonna do just like what Orlando did with Hardaway and Chris Webber.
The draft night deal. See, you know what?
I'm telling you, it's like an even swap. I ain't gonna say it's an even swap, but it's gonna be they get to get a rookie and they get to get some new little pieces to add to their team, the Bucks. And Golden State. They just get another solid piece to go to complement Draymond, Klay, and Steph.
And if you think about it, Steph isn't an old guy, but he's not the same Steph Curry he was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So
shooting.
Yeah, he's like now. I think that player that. Draymond Green is kind of been for them. Now Giannis is going to be that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And more. Right. And a lot of the responsibility, the leadership responsibility is not going to be on Giannis anymore. It's going to be on Steph and Klay and those guys. And all he has to do is just got to rebound, block shots, run the floor.
It's a team full of shooters.
A team full of shooters, and you got a gazelle, you know what I'm saying, running the floor, basically. You know what I mean? So he fills all those other roles that like he's a 3-4-way player. You know what I mean? So now, Steph is still going to be like do his thing, but of course now he's not going to have to do as much. And Klay is going to still be doing his, he's just, these guys are just going to.
Klay going to come out like the $1 Million Man with the new knee and shit.
And with the new knee. Yeah, bionic man with the new knee. So, I'm encouraged, like, I'm kind of, that's always been an exciting team, obviously, but I just, again, with that happening, You
I
know,
got a question. I'm gonna let you finish, but
Sure.
I got a question with something that we said about the bonding, man. It's gonna go on a whole nother tangent, but go ahead.
No, I just think that with Clay coming back and you know, with Giannis possibly going there, it's just going to create a greater opportunity for Golden State or Oakland to you know, get back in contention a lot faster than what they probably would have had they, or if they were to draft Wiseman and keep Wiseman, because now you've got another, you know, Giannis is, I guess Giannis, you can say Giannis is considered to be a veteran now. So they're restacking that, you know, team again, which gives them an opportunity to go right back and I think compete with LA for the top spot in the West Coast. So now you got a Giannis on the West Coast. You see what I'm saying? To match up with AD and LeBron. You know what I mean? So it just, again, like you said, after this season, what other chances are LeBron and AD going to have to win the chip? You know what I mean? So
because that whole team ain't going to be the same next year.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, you know, that will be interesting, I think. And also, not to mention, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be a better team next year. You know what I mean? So, I know it's going to be tough for LA next season. This is going to be, unless they make, in which they're probably not going to make a whole lot of moves in the offseason. You know, they just kind of lucked out this year. And I think that, you know, if this, like you said, they better win this season. You know what I'm saying? You know, LeBron will be 4-10. I'm already kind of counting this championship for him because, you know, if they don't win, man, that's going to be a major, major, major blow to his legacy, AD's, because if they get beat by a Jimmy Butler-led Miami team, there's just – and somebody said something, I don't want to dwell on it for too long, but somebody made a point. Jalen Rose, as a matter of fact, shout out to Jalen Rose, Jalen Jacoby show. Jalen Rose made a point and said that, you know, the difference between LeBron and MJ is the fact that when MJ was playing, with nobody else getting rings. You know what I'm saying? With nobody else getting any rings, he was like, you know, no knock at LeBron, but other people have been able to eat while LeBron is on his watch. You know what I'm saying? I think you said it on an earlier podcast as well that, you know, Bron has been that dude, but other people have been eating on his watch. You know what I'm saying? So,
because when Michael Jordan was playing in the league, you knew off top. You didn't even count getting the ring.
No. Like, and that was
Karl
something
Malone,
I remember.
Karl Malone is still bitter.
It's still salty.
Day.
He's still
talking about like Michael Jordan is just a regular nigga. I didn't get beat by Jordan. I got beat by the Bulls.
I got beat by the Bulls. Yeah, he sure did Jordan. Say
that. Jordan is just a man. I got beat by the Bulls.
Yeah, just a man. Listen, and the same highlight that you have to watch over and over for the rest of your entire life, Michael Jordan stealing the ball from you and hitting the last second shot. Like that has to do something. If you don't let that go, that haunts you for the rest of your life. Like, I think even
it has haunted them for 3 years. They were supposed to get. They was at least supposed to get one out of the 3 times they went to the playoffs. So Utah is essentially the Buffalo Bills of the NBA. Yes, they are the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they're like the Buffalo Bills of the NBA. So, you know, I'm seeing the interview with Karl Malone. He is like so salty, man. Like,
you would be too.
Yeah, like, I don't know though. I really would. You know, it probably would have been the beginning, but I probably would take the Charles Barkley approach now and be like, hey man, I lost, but I lost to Michael Jordan. I didn't lose to Scottie Pippen, like a Scottie Pippen led Bulls team. I lost to Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Well, see,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, see, the thing with that is you got to think about it. Everybody not asking Charles Barkley all the time what happened.
That's true.
He's getting this question asked, hey, what happened to you and the Bulls? Hey, what happened that time? What happened that time? What happened when you – he get that question all the time. What happened to you and the Bulls against you and the Bulls?
And then with Karl Malone being the second on the list of all-time scorers too, of course, you know, his name pops up more often than Barkley does. So yeah, he's got to answer those questions. And I think it was something that it was funny watching Inside the NBA. Every time you know, Kenny was talking about his rings and whatever, and Barkley says, you know, if Jordan had retired, you wouldn't have those 2 rings, right? And so Kenny was like, pretty much like, yeah, I know.
He would have at least one. I think they would have at least had one. They got 2, right? The Rockets had got 2 out of that.
Yeah, they got 2.
So he would at least get 1, I believe.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Man, would Elijah won?
No. Because if that was the case, that season that Chicago came back, Houston would have went back to the finals. And they didn't. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's only because of Orlando, though. See,
well,
in the play, that's why I say, man, if you got your run, man, capitalize off that joint at any way possible.
Right.
Because the next year, you got too many variables, too many people going. You got a new nigga coming in. You got new niggas coming in every year.
Right.
And injuries and all that other type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I mean, So you know, to that point, I think.
Sorry,
you know,
I've been fidgeting and everything. You know, I'm over here.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man.
You know, I'm getting my.
You know, yeah. So I just think that
get my mind right.
You know, yeah. So on that note, like LA is this year's, you know, it's got to be their year to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be their year to do it. If not, next year it's going to be a struggle for them. You know, unless they make some other moves in the off season to make that team better and add that third guy, or you know, Kuzma steps up or whatever they're going to do. This year will probably be their year to do it.
And I don't think Marcus Smart going to be back for Boston next year.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Well, why you think Smart's gonna get traded for what
I think he
another player.
I think he gonna want to leave.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Smart's one of those players that he probably could fit in on just about any team, though. You know what I'm saying? Just because what he brings to the table.
Smart would be like he kind of like a Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
I say he a Patrick Beverly, but he can score points. Patrick Beverly can't really score no points and shit like that.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he'll definitely give you like 15 and 10 or 15 and 8 a night.
And I think this is just his fearlessness too. Like he's not scared of anybody and anything. You know, a dude with that type of attitude, you know, we call him dogs. Like he's a dog out there. Like he don't care who in front of him. Like he gonna guard you, you know what I'm saying? Or he gonna go at you. So yeah, I if he does, I mean, it'll be an open market for him. Like definitely. Because he showed out this last series. I want to shift gears real quick to football.
And that picture that you sent me.
Oh, okay. Is that thumbs up?
2.
Okay, great.
2 thumbs.
2 thumbs. I am no longer a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Nigga, you said that last podcast.
I did. I gotta say, I have to say it again.
Y'all crackheads are finally waking up.
No, this has nothing to do with crack. I have not been on crack for the last 25 years. I will say that I am now a Tennessee Titans fan. I am no longer a Dallas Cowboys fan because the Dallas Cowboys refuse to play football the way football is meant to be played. So I am a Titans fan now, and I can be a Titans fan because the Titans are the home team. Basically, the home team. So it's not like I'm going to rooting for Green Bay or going to root for the Patriots or rooting for, you know, Pat Mahomes or somebody, you know, the Chiefs or something like that. Even though I like the Chiefs, don't get me wrong. But I'm rooting for the Titans now. Home team guy. Just want to make sure I would have changed hats, but I can't find my old Dallas hat. I probably threw it in the trash and put on a new Titans hat.
Trash.
And I think Dak Prescott probably should have took that money when he had the chance, because I don't think he's gonna sign big boy money after this. He's putting up numbers, but I just don't think the market is gonna be there for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dak Prescott is not in the Cowboys jersey in a year or two. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's going to be interesting.
Didn't he already sign the deal, though?
No, I think it was
he might have signed I'm sorry. It sounded like I said dildo.
No, you didn't say that. Pause. You didn't say all that. That's definitely a pause right there, buddy.
Definitely, yes.
Definitely a pause right there. No, he had that big deal that was on the table that he could have signed for, I think, the max or something like that or whatever. But now, obviously, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, you know what I mean? I think that this dude is basically, I think this dude is basically like has missed his opportunity for that particular money. So, you know what I mean? Like, I sometimes I think players, because Dak is talented, right? Dak is talented. He's probably one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I'll give it to him. A lot of attention is on Pat Mahomes. A lot of attention is on Lamar Jackson. A lot of attention is on Russell Wilson. Obviously, right now, Russell Wilson is playing MVP football already. Right. Like he's already playing like MVP. Obviously, that spotlight is still on Tom Brady, Cam Newton, and so forth. But I just think the Cowboys continue to be a disappointment. They continue to not make adjustments. They continue to not, they have been living off.
I don't see how they're America's team.
And it shouldn't be.
Unless America is a representation of losers, then I don't know why they keep calling that America's team. Because it's a team of losers. They lose every year. They never go to the big stage. So they always, I put like this, if the Cowboys is America's team, it is a representation of America is mediocre.
Yeah, that's why they need to stop saying that. They just need to say the Cowboys are a Texas team. And even the Texans probably don't want them to say that.
Right. Like America's team, Dallas Cowboys. You be like, word?
Yeah, they should say
the
South
Patriots. If anything, the Patriots should be America's team.
I've been
or the
saying
Titans or something like that.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years, that the Patriots should be renamed America's team, obviously. But man,
even with that even sound even more believable because the Patriots are cheaters. So, I mean, that's America's team too.
Oh man, how poetic was that?
Oh boy, yes.
How poetic was that? How poetic was that? That was perfect. That was perfect. Hey, you remember? Robert Kraft got those charges got dropped against him.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard. He was like, "Hey, leave me in these holes alone. I got cheese, bitch."
I mean, you do
in more
realize,
ways than one.
You do realize the only reason why they were messing with him is because of what he did for Meek Mill and hooking up with Jay about getting Meek out of jail. That's the only reason why they bought. That dude probably been doing that for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? He's probably doing that for 30 years.
We got to put smut on his name since he helping Jay-Z and Meek Mill. We got to do something about this.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
It's just ridiculous, man. But anyway, shout out to Robert Kraft. I give Robert Kraft his kudos, man. I give it to him, man.
I mean, I will say, I know this ain't like a segue or nothing like that, but I thought I would throw this in there. You made mention a while back about Donald Trump having doubles. And
yeah,
I scoffed at it before, but within the last month, I've seen 3 different versions of this nigga.
Okay. All right. There you go.
3 different versions of this nigga. I've seen a slim version of this nigga. I mean, like his face is slim. I've seen a pale version of this nigga. And then I've seen it's a current version of him, but he's real taint. He's about like this color.
Yeah.
So I'm like, which one of these is this nigga? And then I'm like, none of them may not be this nigga at all.
Yeah. Because
the reason why I say that too, I was looking at a picture of Bill Gates. And it was Bill Gates, his wife, and then it was a person standing next to them that said Bill Gates Sr. I was like, what? This nigga looked just, when I say just like, I mean carbon copy, fucking that sheet of paper that you put under a sheet and you trace over, that nigga. But he was old with glasses. And I'm like, these niggas cloning themselves.
Yep.
Because before now, I never knew Bill Gates was a junior. They never made mention of, when they say Bill Gates, it's just Bill Gates.
Yeah.
They never say Bill Gates Jr.
Yeah.
They never made mention of his dad, Bill Gates Sr. I mean, this is 2020. 2020 to the point where we both would have heard Bill Gates Sr. before or Bill Gates Jr. before. All of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, I'm seeing this picture of Bill Gates, his wife, and Bill Gates Sr. What? Huh? What?
Bill Gates Sr.
I'm like, Bill Gates Sr. is fucking really Bill Gates, old ass. He cloned himself to have a son, Bill Gates Jr., and married.
I would think, I think, man, I really do think that these folks are cloning themselves. I think they have been for a while, and I probably would say that all of your like super, I think all of your super, rich or whatever, probably all have body doubles. They probably all have doubles.
Cause like back to Donald Trump, the media ain't caught hold of this. I'm like, if a regular nigga like myself watching CNN from time to time, I ain't watching it every day. I'm looking at the news one day. I know if you see him on the news often, you're kind of used to seeing this nigga face. That's like, I put like this. That's just like when you see a chick with long hair one day. 2 days later, she got the short hair. Oh, okay. All right. That's believable. She got a haircut. Then Monday, it's just way back down to her shoulder. You're like, hold on, what? Is this possible? They pulling the wool over your eyes while you're awake. This ain't like you wake up and then the wool over your eye. No, it's like, hey, don't mind this. We're just gonna go ahead and.
I know, right?
It's three different niggas that have come up, and one of them niggas is rude as fuck.
You know what's funny?
You got a logical Trump, you got a rude as fuck Trump, and then you just got another one who just straight on politics. Cause like the one that's rude as fuck is the one who just be rambling on about stories and get shit riled up. Like, I don't know about you, but who really wants to vote for Biden? I'll wait. No one. I am the best candidate. This nigga be out here like he fucking Kanye West in whiteface. how he be rambling off, and then you got the who I think is the real Trump. This nigga don't really know shit. He just be like, well, Dr. Fauci, he has told me that this is what is going to happen. So how about we talk to Dr. Fauci? So you get all of these niggas and nobody is asking any questions that it might possibly be 3 separate niggas. And one of them niggas can't read from the teleprompter.
What? You know, it's funny. The second example that you gave, it is so true. He'd be like, I'm here today and I just want to let so-and-so talk. Okay, have a good one. And he just stand back and let them talk. And then
that's the real Trump because he don't know shit.
He'll say a little something and he'll let them talk. And then he'll come back on and say, okay, thank you all for coming out tonight. Have a great weekend. And then he gonna leave. I'm like, wait a minute, man. You the president. You supposed to have, you call the press conference, dude. They come out there and talk for 10 minutes. And he'd be like, okay, that's all. There will be all no questions.
And
okay,
then if he stay on that mic too long, he'll start saying some shit like, wouldn't it be wonderful if we can just have the UV light under our skin to just kill the coronaviruses? Drink maybe like a shot of bleach. It wouldn't be so bad. You'll survive. I've even tried it.
Put a little bit of Lysol in your IV.
That's the real Trump. When he on the microphone too long, he started like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the real one. That's the dumb one. That's
like I said, Kanye West. Like when Kanye West be doing his speeches, that nigga be dropping gems, then all of a sudden this nigga be like, and Rosa Parks just only freed the slaves to go to another slave master. You be like, what? Huh?
So
the fuck are you talking about?
So I'm glad you brought up Kanye West because I wanted to make sure that I brought this up tonight to in particular talk to you about because of your music background. So Kanye's been tweeting a lot lately about artists getting control of their masters, taking control of their music, payment, a correct payment system and royalty system, or a new payment and royalty system being set up and so forth, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So a lot of times he uses Prince and Michael Jackson as an example of achieving that level of ownership over your own intellectual property. Okay. Got it. So I'm listening to Charlemagne. And Charlemagne, obviously, if anybody that follows Kanye, follows the Breakfast Club, shout out to the Breakfast Club, knows that Charlemagne has had several conversations with Kanye West about a lot of different things, right?
Right.
And it was something that he said today that I listened to that he made a whole lot of sense on. He said that he wants Kanye to tell the whole story as it pertains to ownership of music, ownership of masters, and so forth. And the information that he shared was like so eye-opening that it makes you question what Kanye's motives are concerning tweeting, posting about Universal and a lot of Universal Music Group and some other companies on having control of artists' masters. And he, in brief detail, said that he was like, "Hey, man, like Kanye has ownership of like most of his music. I think post maybe his third or fourth album, right? And he also owns half of the publishing, I believe, of all of good music's artists."
Right.
And so he was like, basically like, yay, I get what you're saying. I think we all believe 100% that artists should control their own music, but you're kind of being a contradictory in what you're saying based on your own personal actions. And also he shared that there was a time where Kanye had the option of having control of his masters and he chose not to take it. He chose to take the money instead. And so he said he mentioned that he wasn't trying, he wasn't judging, he wasn't like going behind his back or whatever. He was just saying that, hey, Kanye, make sure that you share with people that you had the opportunity to have your masters over some of your music and you chose the payout instead. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I don't know what bills he may have had, or he had to buy a crib, or he wanted to ball out, or whatever the case is. He had the opportunity to take his masters and he chose not to. He said, so that's why I'm curious why he's so tied up involved in the situation now, saying what he's saying, because yeah, it's true, but he's not telling the whole story. And so true enough, after a little bit of research, like Kanye owes half the publishing of all his good music artists. I'm saying, well, dude, they should own all of their stuff. Like, why you own their stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that all about? And so, you know what I'm saying? So I also feel like, I don't know what I don't know what his motive is in totality, but he's not telling all the story.
So, how should I say? Now, first off, I'll say this, because where I keep hearing the information from, this person always is voicing as well. I'm not trying to shit on him trying to do what he's trying to do. Because our artists, because what he is trying to do, our artists should own their masters or just own their intellectual property.
Right. We're total agreement with that.
At least majority share. You should own majority share of your creative property.
Right.
Now, from what this person was saying, who's in the music industry, is that, how should I say? Kanye West is in a position where he's leveraging. This is an example of leveraging.
Okay.
But like you just said, he owes money.
Right.
What he's doing will create leverage for him, but also in the process, other people, they will be able to own their masters.
Right.
But what he's doing, this will create leverage for him to generate more money because, like you said before, like when he was going on that whole little rant, like he was broke and all this other type of stuff. During that time, then he was trying to leverage then.
Right.
Leveraging, like you said, he didn't take his, he took the bread instead of owning his masters. That was the leverage then.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to get the money. He wanted to go ahead and get the money and go ahead and do some other things, which he was getting involved with the clothes and shoes.
Right.
Now, this is how I look at it, this is a whole leverage thing for him to get into politics.
Okay.
Since he's really not rapping, he's not trying to use his own money. So now he's trying to leverage the masters and all this other type of stuff so he can go ahead and get some more money.
Okay.
And leverage that. But I will say that, while he's saying that, he owns most of everybody's on his labels masters.
Right. Yep.
He's fighting for something that he's the label himself.
Right. Exactly. Do you think that brings his credibility into question? Or you think that's just, like you said, a leverage, a power play to benefit him on one side of the coin and others on one side of the coin, rather?
I hate to say it like this, but religious people don't take offense to how I'm going to say this, but the preacher means good too, don't it?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But he keep taking that money line in his pocket.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like
exactly.
the word might be the word.
Right.
But at the same time, I put like this. It is a good word, and he is trying to get people what he's trying to get you as far as new artists, other new creators, whatever like that. But just remember, this nigga is the label.
Right.
Is all I'm going to say. Right. Just remember that this nigga is the label.
Right.
Who, if he signs you, he owns your masters.
There you go.
Unless he has created a whole different music contract. Unless his music contract that he has signed those good music artists to, unless their contract is totally different from other artists, which I doubt.
Right.
He is the label.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure he's right. I'm pretty sure the same, they have the same types of lawyers in those circles. So I'm pretty sure a lawyer that, or somebody that did a contract for somebody else did those contracts too. Like, they know how much the labels usually ask for or take right off the bat. And they know the artist is not, 9 to 10 is not going to turn that down.
And just know or remember that with him being the label or him being his own entity, his leverage could be your masters.
Right. That's true.
To get his masters.
Right. That's true. Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, you take that up with the label over there, they have your masters.
There you go. That's happened before.
Yes.
That's definitely happened before. That's happened before.
So
now you just gave a great example of how the industry potentially works. Because that's what happens to people a lot of times. They're under a label and that label gets bought out by somebody else, or that label gets sold from under them and they don't know it's been sold, right? Because their music is being, their intellectual property is basically being used as a bargaining chip because they may own 10% of it if they own that much of it, right?
And
so they look music, up one day.
And if I'm not mistaken, good music is an entity of Universal.
Yeah. Well, he's still signed to Rockefeller. He's still signed to Rockefeller.
Right.
And I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. I thought that I thought that he had gone under Def Jam on his own, but he's still signed to Rockefeller. He's actually still I think Kanye's music is still being released. Well, it's under Good Music, but I think it's still like a part deal with Rockefeller.
It's either Rockefeller or Rock Nation, but yes.
Yeah. Because the Rockefeller entity still exists.
Right.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people thought when the breakup happened that Rockefeller just dissolved, and it didn't. It's still a company.
While everybody think that I put like this. If people really keep the mentality of everything is business, ain't shit personal, just know that Dame Dash is getting some of the bread too. All them niggas is getting bread.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what Jay said in one of the songs.
Even though they don't like each other, all of their moves that's being made.
Oh yeah,
all the moves that Jay-Z make is the same. Is like Biggs is making it. Is like Dame is making it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
because I get what you're saying. Not equal, but they're all still making moves. They're all still making moves. They're all still doing work. They're all still making moves. And I told I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
And they might, I put like this, a lot of times they might not even agree, or they may have outgrown, but because they all still do business together.
Right.
Business is business.
Business
and a lot
is
of
business.
people, lot of people can't never really see past that type of shit no more. It's like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Dude, bread is being made, man.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
Like, true, they probably can make some money together, but guess what? If you just pull back for a second, if you just think for 1 minute, all of them niggas own the top shoe brands right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Dame got Adidas. Dame and Kanye got Adidas. Jay-Z got Puma. I think Biggs is doing something with Nike.
I think he did something. I think he did, because they had that
the Def Jam edition of the Air Force Ones and shit.
Air Force One, yeah. They had the Rockefeller edition of the Air Force Ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they got some other little clothing line through Nike.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was rocking with at first.
Right.
And then they ventured off. Dame started doing stuff with Adidas. Yeah. Then Kanye started doing stuff with Adidas.
Yeah.
And then Jay-Z started venturing with Puma.
Yeah. And I think Dame had bought I forgot what company Dame bought. He bought it wasn't K-Swiss, it was somebody, it was another company that I think
Kids.
Pro Kids. He bought Pro Kids. Yeah.
I think he finally sold the rights back to Kids, but it's just about flipping money. He got them popping again, and they bought it back from him.
Right. Which I've learned. One of the things I have learned from Dame is something that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about all the time.
And then I just say too, while I got it on my mind, and all of that stuff that Rihanna is doing with Puma, Jay-Z getting a piece of that too.
Oh yeah.
So it's like whatever his artists are doing, and they do off to the side, he getting a piece of that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
man. I mean, but that's really how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
That's really how it's supposed to be. Because once somebody, and it's not like he's holding them hostage, it's a part of doing business, right? It's a part of doing business.
Like, man, you go and do whatever you want to do. Right. I just get a piece.
You just blah blah blah. That's all it is.
Okay.
Right. Because at that point in time, they become marketable enough to be able to push whatever brand they're involved in. Like,
unless you are publicly doing cocaine or something like that, you be like, hey man,
dude, hey. I'm just saying. I mean, think about it, right? With Jay, first of all, Kanye is a billionaire, right?
Right.
Rihanna probably will be a billionaire at some point, I think.
Right.
If she hadn't already.
Right.
And she ain't put out music in 2 years or 3 years or something like that.
Man, Rihanna ain't put out no music. If she put out music, it's been like a single or something that go on a movie track. But an album, she ain't dropped no music in like 10 years, dude.
Yeah. So like, and I just threw that number out there because I don't, I don't buy Rihanna albums. I mean, I don't get her albums, but I'm just saying, like, I knew it had been a while since she put music out. Right. And everybody's like, she dropping the lingerie lines and stuff, and people are more excited about that than they are her music. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy. But because of your marketable image, you're able to sell pretty much anything. Like, listen to 50 Cent talk about how he started the whole vitamin water thing. It's just insane. Like, it's just insane. You know what I'm saying? And dude made like $100 million off of like vitamin water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, we look at businesses like creating a business and keeping it and holding it forever. No. Yeah. Get your shit popping. When people start feeling your shit, if they, hey, you know what? I like this business. I would like to buy it from you. Oh, really? Right. How much are we talking now? Boom, sell it on off. Unless they talking the right number.
Yep.
If you feel like you can make more off that jump, nah. Somebody else gonna come with a bigger number. Sell it on off. You sell these businesses. You creating a business. You making babies.
Yep. And you know the
Just
interesting
look
thing
at it
about
like that. You making babies, my nigga.
that is, I think the interesting thing about that is like you said, we tend to hold on to stuff a little bit too long because I already got some stuff in mind for my business. Like, and I was thinking about that today is, you know, you've got to be willing to take risks in order to be successful, but you also have to not take everything personal. Like you said, business is business. Like even you have to let some of your own little babies go, right? In order for them to really grow, and somebody else can take it over and take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? The same way you do it.
Like real talk, like people right now are mad because they're talking about Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes in most of his businesses and all this other type of stuff. Hey, all I'm gonna say is this. I don't like this nigga one bit. But don't hate the player because this nigga know how to play the game.
I mean,
this nigga know how to play the game with the loopholes that the taxes have created.
Right.
You know how to write the information in or whatever and pay what he paying.
Right.
Now just because, and that's the other thing, like people say he has done bankruptcy or whatever like that. He has not. His businesses has filed for bankruptcy.
Right. 12 times, I think. Something like that.
And what's the problem in that? That affects you as a person, none. It affects that business, everything.
Right.
Let that business count. All right, shoot, take that business away from me. I just create another one.
Right. And like you said, it's just knowing your parameters because we can't compare ourselves. We can't compare ourselves to somebody that makes 30 million or makes 100 million a year or even more. But when we do get into the system and understand how it works, like you said, that's exactly how it works. And it works the same way for everybody, in all honesty, right? If you donate a lot of materials, if you donate money, like that's why people that are super rich always have a foundation to give money away so they can keep the tax man away.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Why close to October, November, December, you start seeing millionaires giving away shit?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Oprah.
Right.
You can have a home. You can have a home. All of you bitches can have homes. Guess what she's doing? She's filing losses.
Yeah, that's right.
She's filing losses, people. When she's giving her whole audiences cars around December and November, she's giving losses away. Her losses now have outnumbered her gains.
Exactly.
Bingo, Jewel.
Yep. And that's that is how the wealthy stay wealthy, right? Because now I don't have to pay all this. Yeah, I start giving away stuff, and I'm able to write that off on my taxes. And typically, I'll get that back from the government, at least a large percentage of it, because what I'm doing is stimulating the economy individually, right? I'm not just spending money. I'm giving money away to be spent, or I'm giving items away to be consumed. And once people realize that in totality, I think they won't be as mad and as upset when they hear stuff like this, because in all honesty, the wealthy people have been doing that for centuries. Like as long as the tax system was in place, they've always done that to avoid a heavy tax fine or heavy tax law or heavy taxes levied against the amount of money that they make, right? Because they don't want to make 10 million and wind up having to give away 4 million. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, right off the bat, like I should make 10 million, but let me go and give away $200,000 worth of school supplies. You know what I'm saying? Let me give away another $150,000 worth of, elderly people care supplies. Like, because guess what? come February, I'm going to be writing all this stuff off again. You know what I'm saying? And then the government says, oh, man, you did a great job. You basically stimulated the economy. So here you go. Either you get all of it back or you get a large percentage, and you just continue to do the same thing. It's like reinvesting in yourself, basically.
Right.
You know? So I see people on social media.
Like, I don't know the full game. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. But no, I see them getting mad. Like, Trump didn't pay taxes. I'm like, man, none of rich people, especially I know a couple super rich people, like, and they don't pay taxes. Like, they donate money. They build community centers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously they don't pay because they're doing it in other ways. You know what I'm saying?
When you have somebody like Jeff Bezos who makes $1 a year,
yep.
Everything else is claimed as loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And then most of the
Amazon,
stuff that he probably,
Jeff Bezos made $1, but Amazon made millions.
Yeah. But think about it. Bezos think about this. So Bezos says he only gets paid $1 a year, right?
Right.
That's in salary. That's not in stock. That's not in, that's not the jet that he flies around in or the drivers that he has and all that. Because guess what? All that stuff is already paid for by the company. You know what I'm saying? So salary wise, he don't really need to bring nothing home salary wise. You know what I'm saying? Because all his needs are met and facilitated through the success of his company. You know what I'm saying? So, and so it takes care of him. Like, it's basically like he's employed by himself. And, when something happens, like, he doesn't have that responsibility on his shoulders personally to have to worry about.
If on his taxes, he made $1, or say at the end of the year, pretty much, it was $12. Mm-hmm. He made $12 at the end of the year, but his losses was $5,000, $10,000.
Right.
People, you are aware that this nigga will receive money back for all of those losses that it shows that he had. Now, I'm just saying people are unaware of this, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I can tell that they're not aware of it because people are upset. They're upset, mad. Trump ain't paid no money. And I'm like, dude, like, you'd probably be surprised. Probably none of the presidents that we know of in modern history, all of them are rich, right? Probably Obama probably be the only one that's probably paid taxes in the last, like, before he became president. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga like a regular nigga. Hey, now you do it this way. This is how you supposed to do it.
Right. Everybody else probably ain't probably ain't filled out a tax form their entire life. You know what I'm saying? They probably had CPAs when they was 19 years old doing their stuff. You know what I mean?
I will say, I do want Donald Trump's his CPA, his taxes, whoever that person is. Hey,
you probably can't afford him.
If he making me some money, yes, I can. Like, hey man, do my taxes where I can afford you.
That man probably tell you, hey man, only way I do your taxes, man, your salary got to be, 50 million and up. Then I take care of your taxes for you.
But I only make $1 a month.
pull a Bezos out of.
All right, I only make $1 a month, sir. What can we do with that?
I wanted to make sure I mentioned this too. We're talking about Trump, talking about the tax returns and whatnot. It's from a political perspective. I want to get your thoughts on this. The Biden.
I have awoken.
Go ahead. What you say? What now?
I said I have awoken.
You have awoken.
Yes.
What do you mean, sir?
Just continue.
Oh, okay.
Just continue.
The Biden-Harris ticket
Okay.
What do you think about Joe Biden being president and Kamala Harris being the vice president?
I don't think it's going to go well either way. Now, although we're supporting everything Black, just remember Ben Carson tried to run for president too. And
Ben Carson?
Yeah. So you all didn't feel that he was a great candidate either for a Black president. I'm just saying, just because we're going for somebody Black doesn't mean that everybody Black is for you. So I'm not really into politics, but if you really just hear her, if you really check her background information, if she was white, you'd be trying to cancel her. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I think if any of those, at any rate, like a lot of the decisions that they make, early
we're blinded by the Black skin.
Yeah. With that, and also the job that she had, she was a prosecutor, so obviously she's gonna prosecute Black folks. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think people are realizing that she used to be a prosecutor.
Yeah. So I mean,
and how she made deals.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Looking at her as a candidate, and I've said this, I said this already.
Both of them, we might look at it as odd. They are a match made, though. That's why I say it's not. I don't think it's not going to be something that we're going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that as long as you have a two-party system, you're always going to be forced to pick the lesser of two evils, in my opinion, in this country. If we know history, we know that Democrats, the KKKs were Democrats. Your earlier, folks that hated Black folks were Democrats, right? The two-party system that we are dealing with and looking at now is a microcosm of the macro problem that America has.
A microcosm? Look at this guy. There he is.
The macro.
You ain't used them big words since and henceforth.
I've been reading the dictionary the last weekend. And so what we have is basically, like I said, is a situation we choose a lesser of two evils. It's like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Which one do you choose? And as long as we have that, we don't have a third option for someone that probably would fit or do the job better or fit the mode of what we look at as far as having or being a representative of the democratic process. So, yeah, you're going to have Democrats who prosecuted Black and brown people and locked up and unfairly and unjustly arrested, Black and brown people, have done things that are in their own personal interest and not for the interest of the country in totality or their base. And that's, typically, looking at the upcoming talent and who we think is next up and who we think should fill the spots. Like, there needs to be a third option, somebody just as strong, somebody just as informed, somebody just as committed to a process, and basically says, hey, we're tired of picking the lesser of two evils just because we don't have another option. You know what I'm saying?
It's like three evils then?
No. No. The process by which we pick presidents in particular is antiquated. I think totally is antiquated. We don't have,
Look at this
we're
nigga
sitting here. I'm on the roll, so don't stop me. We have the ability to, I can send you an email right now and put a poll in that particular email where you can vote on, what food we should serve at my restaurant tomorrow, right? But I can't vote on my phone. It makes absolutely no sense. I still have to go to a polling station and vote. I can vote for America's Next Top Model via phone call, right? Or via text message, right? But I can't vote for a Senate seat the same way. Again, it's an outdated, antiquated process that doesn't allow for a broader spectrum of voters to participate.
Hey, real quick,
yes.
It's antiquated. It's
what
antiquated.
Is that?
Have you seen Charles Barkley's wife?
Oh, wow.
My nigga, I just looked at the picture and oh my goodness.
Hey man, it's been a rough life, man. It's probably pretty rough being married to Barkley. I'm pretty sure it is.
Check your just look at your phone real quick. Check your Instagram.
It's probably pretty rough being married to Barkley.
My nigga, if you worth millions, you're a basketball star. That should not.
Oh man,
that should not be. Oh man,
I'm just not,
dude.
Oh boy. Man, Rito Brown, know he wrong. Hey, Rito know he wrong for that, man. Shout out to Rito Brown, man. Rito know he wrong for that, man. Rito is wrong for that. He is wrong,
dude.
man. Hey, man, I mean, that's
beauty is in the eye of the beholder, my nigga.
Man.
Oh man.
What you say about that, Chuck? What say that, Chuck? What Spice Adams say? What you say that, Chuck? What you say that, Chuck?
Chuck can't talk about nobody ever in life, ever,
ever.
Dude.
Oh man. I'm kind of surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised, man. I never seen.
Like I said, that is
before.
antiquated. There is antiquated. That is antiquation for you.
Man.
Oh man. And he got a big smile. Big smile.
Hey.
Big smile.
I want man, I lost my train of thought looking at that, man. That dude, he just don't. He don't need to say nothing about nobody's nothing. Like him, nah. He don't need to say. Hey, real quick. No, I gotta mention this. I gotta mention this before I forget. There was a video I saw that we mentioned. And I know kind of jumping back and forth, but you mentioned Barkley, so I got to mention this about Karl Malone being a horrible human being. There's a video out that talks about Karl Malone in his past prior to going to the NBA and even after he got to the NBA, or basically being a deadbeat dad. Like, I'll have to send it to you so you can watch it. But basically, it's like it details how he has these kids out there that he really didn't have anything to do with, right?
After he has money, or this was before he had money?
Well, this is before and after, because, and I'm gonna put this out here, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna send this to you so you see it yourself. But basically, when he was a sophomore in college, he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant. When he was a sophomore in college, and he denied the baby like forever. Like basically, he was like, "Get it how you live. I don't have nothing to do with that." And then he had a set of twins, and his daughter has a WNBA championship. His daughter wound up playing in the WNBA. And while they were younger, he wouldn't have anything to do with her. But after she got to the WNBA, then he started claiming her as his daughter. But it's a set of, and basically, he's never acknowledged his son. Like, he's acknowledged him as being his son, but basically like, hey, man, hey, so it's a cold world, put on a sweater. this like basically how he's kind of handled that situation. And I was tripping, man. I was like, wow. Like, he's like, wow. This dude wanted to pay like, I think that they ordered him to pay like a couple $100 a week or something like that. And he was like, that's too much.
Now, mind you, how should I say this? Now, just because somebody's saying, hey, I'm yours, is it proven that the DNA, absolutely. Gotcha. No.
You know, after this period of time, like, it ain't gonna be able to get by with just saying you were, you know, NBA, you know, Hall of Famers child and not have a, you know, some legalities behind that. Like, you got to go prove that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it was proven. Like, it was proven because he had kids by his wife, like several. And so the other kids are like, oh man, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah, if you see his video, essentially, he is basically like, they even talk about him trying to like flirt with Vanessa Bryant and basically Kobe telling him to stay away from his wife. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that though. I remember that.
I have heard that he real cocky and all that other type of stuff. But
he said something, like I said, I'll send it to you, but he said something really derogatory to Vanessa Bryant about liking Mexican women or something like that. And so she was like, okay, I gotta tell my husband about this. And Kobe called him on the phone, was like, hey man, what's up? And basically Karl Malone told him, you know how I am. Those are his words. Oh, you know how I am. Like, I was like, what?
I ain't mean nothing by it, man. You know how I am, man. Shit.
Yeah.
See, if she was going, she'd be going, but hey, shit.
So Kobe was like, nah, I don't think you know how I am. Like, don't say this to my wife, nigga. You know? So yeah, man, he had a couple issues with some other players doing the same type of stuff. So yeah, that was an interesting little video I saw about that.
So I had to send you something real quick. I know I sent it to you before, but I wanted to send you something real quick to get that image out of our heads. What do you think of this new campaign ad to get people to go and vote?
So the ad that you're speaking of is the
get your booty to the pole. Get your booty to the pole.
Yeah. So okay. So
the video is it's a video of strippers swinging on the pole, twerking on the pole, shaking their ass on the pole, and they say, get your booty, 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 get your booty to the pole, get your booty, 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 get your booty to the pole. And then they start interviewing strippers at the end, talking about how you should go out and vote. Now, mind you, they knew they politics. That was the crazy thing. That was the crazy thing. They knew they politics. They knew. I was like, these hoes know what they talking about. Shit. Get your booty to the pole. They need to be whispering in these niggas' ear at the strip club. Hey, y'all, go out there and vote for so-and-so, so-and-so. Hey, this person has our best interest at heart in the neighborhood. Go and vote for this person. Hey, they might have something there. Get your booty to the pole. Get your booty to the pole, face ass. Oh, man.
All I'm going to say is there's an audience for everything.
True. This is true.
There's an audience for everything. And based on what I know about that, they'll probably get more white men to vote with that than they will black guys, because white guys love black strippers, by the way.
Yeah. Did we get your attention? Good. So, you're really not going to vote? It's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it. A district attorney decides who to prosecute, including whether or not to go after dirty cops. Do you know who elects the DA? We do, but you don't want to vote. Can't make it rain if you locked up on some bullshit. Want trades and coding taught in our schools? Then vote for the school boards that will prepare us for the job market.
Wow, she
Want
twerking.
an cash bail? Well, then vote for the sheriffs and county officials that feel the same way you do. But you talking about, oh, they gonna pick who they gonna pick, shawty. Ferguson just elected their first black mayor. You know how that happened? It's clear Black lives don't matter to some of our current elected officials. If they matter to you, then don't let other people decide who's gonna run your community. Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll.
Get your booty to the pole.
Get the vote.
Vote.
Stretch.
For information on how and where to vote, to find out who's running.
Oh, boy. All for a vote campaign. Get your booty to the pole.
Who produced that? Did Titty Boy produce that? Did 2 Chainz produce that? The 2 Chainz. This got to be Atlanta. This got to be Atlanta. It can't be nobody else. This got to be Atlanta.
I guess they was like, since Pussy Valley was out here, you might as well go ahead and make you a little stripper video and get your booty to the pole.
Vote it.
Kamala Harris. Oh, man. I mean, they really was twerking in his joint. The video, I mean, his joint was a good 2 minutes.
Man.
Oh. What?
Yeah, I have to watch it again when we get there.
Saying gonna be like, hey y'all, go to bed. Go to bed. Turn these lights off real quick. Click. Click. Get your booty to the pole. Get your booty to the pole. What? Oh, man.
Oh, man. Hey, I think, sometimes I feel like, you got to do what you got to do to get people's attention, man.
It caught my attention.
I mean, I'm sure it did mine as well. And I'm going to get my booty.
It's going to get your booty to the pole.
Oh, man.
Cause I sure don't want to be the one. Man, they gonna get who they gonna pick, shawty.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. That's hilarious, man.
Hey, they trying to make sure we go out and. The only thing I don't like this whole thing about go out and vote is not a plan. Like going out and just saying vote. You do know that just telling people to vote, they'll go out and vote for any damn body, and it's not who everyone should be voting for or you want to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, let's go out here and vote for so-and-so, so-and-so.
Right.
like if we as black people are wanting and supposed to be mastering a plan together or whatever, everyone should be doing a concerted effort of saying, hey, let's all vote for this one guy.
That's true. That's really how it's supposed to be anyway. That's how it's supposed to be. But everybody's
just out here saying, hey, just go out and vote. You be like, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go out there and vote for a nigga that's not even in the top race.
Right.
They're like, hey, is Bernie Sanders still in it?
Man.
Like, no.
Like, vote for Bernie. Oh, Bernie's not running. Oh, like, oops.
Right.
Like, well, who we vote for then? That's why, man, like you said, I agree with you on that one. Like, they need to just say, hey, everybody vote for this person here. Like, let's go ahead and do this. And let's stop saying vote randomly.
Right.
Like, let's vote for individual A.
Especially if you're saying that we all have the power to do something. If we all have the power to do something, shit, display that shit.
Right.
Say, hey, let's all vote for Michael Jackson tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. We all go vote for Michael Jackson. Boom. It's going to show that all of us voted for Michael Jackson.
Right. Right.
Whereas just telling us to go out and vote, I vote for Michael Jackson, you vote for Trump, three other people done voted for Biden, you be like,
right.
You said go out and vote, shit. You ain't say who.
Right.
Because I want to say this is the age where we have to be told what to do.
You really do. Hey, man.
I don't know what has happened, but it's almost like instead of just doing the shit, we have to be told what to do. So since that is the case, it should just be say, hey, all of us need to just go out here and vote for blah. Okay, cool. That's the plan.
People lack critical thinking skills a lot of times these days. You know, so you have to spoon feed and basically walk them down the line when it comes to it because people lack critical thinking skills, right? Because if you don't have an A and a B, you know, you have an A, B, and a C, like people tend to be more confused, right? But if you said, hey, go vote for this person, this is who we're all getting behind, like we've given them what we want them to do, they're going to run for us. And the first time they mess up, we're going to hold their feet to the fire. And all of us, including other politicians that possibly could run against them or have been running against them, saying, hey, if you mess up, we're going to put your person that you lost to in office the next term. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or, you know, basically those people go ahead from jumping instead of having all these primaries and stuff. Just say, hey, look, we got 4 candidates. Out of those 4 candidates, they're going to sit down and have a meeting with constituents and say, which one of you 4 is the best one to run? And then once everybody picks that person, will say, look, this is what we need you to do. The first day you get in office, this is what you need to start working on. Your second week in office, this is what you need to be working on. Your third month in office, this is what you need to be working on, right? And all the other candidates go ahead and say, we're holding your feet to the fire because we're part of this process. We're inside the building. We know what you're doing on behalf of the people. Hold their feet to the fire. They don't do it, we're going to yank you.
Now, what's funny?
Your coattail.
Now, it's funny that you say that. I just read somewhere that Donald Trump had just signed the Black America contract. So, you know, I want to say like Ice Cube or somebody, several other little celebrities that they had wrote some type of.
It was actually Ice Cube. Actually, it was Ice Cube was the one that started it, authored it, and so forth and so on. And basically, what Cube was saying is like, look,
if you don't agree to these terms,
right, exactly. You know, and basically, this is not just for Trump. This is for Biden, Harris. This is for whoever goes in that particular spot. Like, this is what you're gonna have to do for us in order for us to get your support. Right. Like, instead of picking one side or the other. Basically, whoever you are, like it doesn't matter what party you're in.
Show me what is going to benefit us or me.
Show me how it's going to be. And that's how politics is supposed to work from jump anyway.
Dude, do you know that that information that you told me about the Jewish, they get their own like reparations or whatever like that?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
You know, when we were talking about our reparation and what all we should be getting, and I was saying that nobody gets something every year, and you was like the Jews do.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of it, but what's crazy is a lot of people are not aware of this or are aware of that. Even after I looked the information up, like from what you're saying, and I remember from what Jay-Z was saying in 444 or whatever like that. But even my mom wasn't aware of that. She was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's crazy though. So
yeah. Because think about it. Real quick. The Asians.
So yeah, we should have a contract that agrees to something that benefits us for
absolutely for a long period of time, if not the next 500 years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, that's and because and real quick, you have to have, and again, it starts with the contract with Black America. What do we need to have in order for systematic change to take place? We realize that systematic change has to take place from an economic standpoint first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like really it's about money, it's about control, it's about wealth, it's about a transformation of wealth. And we can't keep sitting around hoping and praying and believing and fasting that things are going to change instead of making demands on what we need to have like everybody else has had. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's the way that this system works. So you can't operate outside the system. You have to utilize the system for your own benefit, learn it and use it for your own benefit. And that's the only way that you can really create change. Make demands, say this is what we need to get from you, right? Or nobody's getting anything from us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that it should be.
But I think a lot of times we are hard to we don't stick to our terms a lot of times. Like, hey, I know my mom, she used to get mad at me like when I quit a job, I'll cut a fool up because I was like, I make a scene. Like, man, because I knew I wasn't coming back to that motherfucker. She was like, Jace, you don't never, you never know, you might burn these bridges. I was like, Mama, I know I'm never coming back to this place. So I'm gonna act the donkey.
Right.
Why did I say that?
I don't know, but
what it was, whatever you just said. What were you saying? What did you just get finished saying?
I was just saying that that's the same process that we should, utilize the same as the other groups have in demanding, economic justice as well as social justice, right? Once we get to a point where we don't need the system anymore, we can walk away and act a donkey too. You know what I'm saying? But we have to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? We had to get to that point first. You know what I mean? And establish our own
depending
system.
On it though.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you have to use it to establish your own. Once we establish our own, then we have no dependency on it. Not from that perspective, because basically those groups that we talked about that are getting reparations, they have their own economy. They have their own economy, which we need our own economy.
That's why creating a business and selling it, or not being afraid to just create a whole nother business, like we were speaking about earlier. So
yeah, absolutely, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So I guess that's your way of saying wrap it up.
Yeah, I have to. I got responsibilities. But I want to say a personal shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to everybody rocking with us. Shout out to new folks listening.
Get your booty to the pole video too.
And yes, I do need to watch it another couple times just to make sure it's what I saw the first time. Just thank everybody for listening. Just want to say, shout out to you and your family, brother. Been praying for you and the family. Love y'all. Peace and blessings to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And continue to, man, work through. You know what I'm saying? Continue to work through, man. We love you. We're praying for you, brother. And, your family is in our hearts, man. Absolutely.
I will say for any of the listeners who attended the services, it was a great service of my my dad's passing. But thank y'all for having some patience through the technical difficulties. Once that junk got going, though, it was beautiful. But I would like to jump behind.
Pause.
All right, big pause. I would like to thank the listeners as well. Thank the viewers. Thank y'all for supporting the nigga, man. I've been seeing it. Like I said, we see the views. I'm seeing the talks. I see the things here and there. So thank y'all for supporting the nigga. Listening to our crazy views and thoughts, our rants. I know I've been off for a minute, but I'm about to get back on, as you can see, getting back in the groove. So again, thank you. Thank you. This is episode 52, 3, maybe 52. So more material. I'm gonna have to rap to the real estate guy, see what episode that's gonna be on. Again, absolutely. This is like DJ Paul, Juicy J, cashing checks. We still ain't had the Monopoly episode.
I will get it. We'll get it. We'll get it.
But yeah, I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It. And I got my guy, Mr. Potato Head in the hoodie.
I knew I wasn't gonna get off easy this time. I knew I wasn't gonna get off easy. I knew it was coming. I was just waiting for it. It's like waiting for the hammer to fall. I knew it was coming.
Ivan the Grizzly.
That would be me.
You know what? It's gonna have to be on the shirt. Ivan the Grizzly. And we are the Off on the Tangent podcast. Thank for your support. Much love.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace, Johnnie Williams Jr. I love you. We love you. And we about this junk. Holla.
Right. Holla.